For my personal beliefs project, my topic is how to effectively teach English language learners. I chose this topic because I am currently teaching in a community with many migrant families, and I have had many English language learners. Therefore, my feelings on if I research and observe ways to effectively teach to ELLs that will help me be able to differentiate my teaching in becoming a better student-centered teacher. Teacher roles. Teachers will typically start a mini lesson with direct instruction, then model how to perform the task the teacher wants them to do, and lastly, with the use of scaffolding, teachers help learners do what the student is trying to do. Student learning models. Students learn from demonstrations, being engaged in the demonstration, use of imagery, being hands-on, receiving feedback, and building upon previous knowledge. Through the teacher roles and knowing about student learning models, successful teachers don't just follow the 3 roles of teaching. To be a successful teacher, teachers must always be learning new material, find engaging hands-on lessons for students, make the material they are teaching relevant, and have a purpose. Also to provide students with visuals to help them imagine, and they give feedback to their students when needed. Teachers know what their students' needs are through constant observation. Through research, observations, and teaching experiences, I have learned a lot already how to differentiate my teaching to engage English language learners. Visuals were the most common theme that came up in my experiences as a teacher, but I did, however, find 2 more themes in my research and observations. The second one being kinesthetic learning, and the third one being modeling. Many ELLs are very visual learners and need that visual stimulation to help them understand the new material. That is why color coding words and the use of pictures in your teaching have huge benefits. One of my favorite stories from my observations was when I was giving a math assessment in a kindergarten class. I was having one of the ELL students write down numbers 0 through 10 in correct order. He had written 0 through 6 just fine, and then when he was writing down number 7, he first wrote the number down, then looked up at the clock to see if he had written it correctly. As soon as he looked at the clock and he said yes, he continued with the rest of the numbers. When I witnessed this, I chuckled inside on the count of how cute it was, but in all reality, it was an aha moment in my teaching research. This experience showed me how important it is to have visuals around the classroom. In my classroom, I will have number lines, the alphabet, word walls with pictures, and more. Not only will this help the English language learners, but it will also help the whole class in learning, especially the visual learners. Another observation was when I was witnessing a student color his picture, he was looking at his shirt. The funny thing is his numbers were often backwards. Kinesthetic learning. When I was working with students and reading the different articles I came across in my research, I noticed a lot about having your ELL students actively learn by using their hands and moving around. Throughout my teaching career, I've done a lot of hands-on activities, and I've noticed that my ELL students were more engaged and overall had a better learning experience than when they worked independently on medial tasks. In my research, I came across different articles effectively stating effective teaching strategies in regards to ELL students. In the research, hands-on learning was a common occurrence. Having students interact with each other and learn while moving has positive effects on students' progress in learning. Using computers, playing games, encouraging native languages, and small groups are all forms of kinesthetic learning. Modeling was the third thing that I came across in my research and observations. Having a teacher who effectively models student tasks is known to increase student learning. When teaching ELL students, often they do not know what to do or understand what is being taught. That is why modeling is such an effective strategy to use when teaching to ELL students. When teachers actively model tasks students are to perform, the student can see what the teacher is doing. The student can see what the teacher is doing if they don't completely understand and follow along during the direct instruction. Now, from what I have learned in my ESL classes and teaching experiences, I am more aware of English language learners' needs. Throughout my teaching career, I will continually make efforts in using visuals, offering many hands-on projects, and teaching by modeling in ways that make the classroom feel more like a one-on-one setting for the ELL students. I also now know that many ELLs have low self-esteem in the classroom due to confusing translations. Therefore, by making an effort every day to use positive reinforcements, I hope to instill self-motivation and provide a welcoming classroom environment for English language learners.